Radio news versus print news. The news item broadcasted on the radio is for the ear, not for the eyes. So, we can say that the story is written in the colloquial language, that is everyday conversational language. The use of slang or harsh word is avoided. The news item presented has to be lively and in a conversational manner. On the other hand, the print news is written for the eye, not for the ears. The print news story is a factual and detailed report of the event. So, we can say that the story is not written in a conversational language, rather a formal language of news writing is adopted. The radio news items is short and simple. It contains 5 to 6 sentences giving a brief of the happening or the event. The broadcaster maintains a moderate speed of reading the news item, which helps the listener to comprehend the news item. The radio news item is so designed that each sentence entails one thought only. So, we can say that the use of complex facts and figures are avoided, whereas the print news story is a detailed news piece giving comprehensive details of the happening or the event. The statement from important people and celebrities are covered in detail with the facts and figures. So, we can say that the broadcast news is not tangible and cannot be reread. The print news gives an edge over the broadcast news by providing the news in a printed form and can be referred whenever required. The radio's greatest strength is immediacy. The event is reported as soon as it happens. The active voice is used to report the news story. The script was written to give the impression that event is happening now. In comparison to print media, the news is reported the next day in the morning. The print media news is a report of a past event. The function of the immediacy is lacking as the reader waits for the detailed reports for the next day. In radio, literacy is not prerequisite. Illiterate people can have recent updates and information through the broadcaster's conversational voice, which helps them to better understand the message. On the flip side, the print media does not overcome the problem of illiteracy. To read the information in newspaper and magazines, the person has to be literate. Writing for radio differs from the print media. The reader of a print media can refer back or reread the article if not understood the meaning or the author's message. It is not the case on the radio. The listener has to take everything as it comes and he cannot refer back to clarify any point. Thus, the radio script seeks to hold the listener's rapt attention and take extra effort to ensure the meaning is clear and understandable to the listeners. The timeline for reporting an event in radio is short, as the event is reported as soon as it happens. The deadlines are short and reporters have very limited time to write the script and broadcast on air. In comparison to print media, the timelines are long and reporters have time to write the news in a proper format for newspapers. The reports has to be published in the next day edition so that the print has liberty of long timelines. The dramatic unity of broadcast news is the common structure of news on radio. This structure consists of three parts: climax, cause and effect. The dramatic unity stands same as inverted pyramid style in print media news. The climax accounts to the focal point of the news story, just as the lead of the print news, which gives short description of what the story is about. The cause helps to elaborate on the why questions of the story, which gives details of the circumstances and surrounding of the event. The effect part of the story gives explanation of the context of the story and understanding the story. The broadcast news story is written as a unit and cannot be deleted from the bottom as opposed to print news, where the news story of its inverted pyramid structure can be omitted from the bottom. So we can say that the broadcast news is written according to the broadcast time allotted to the story. For example, we can say here that the story which is allotted 20 seconds and the story is not able to fit in the time limit, so the story has to be rewritten. A broadcast writer keeps the duration of the story and editing process in mind, in contrast with the print media writer who keeps the space of the publication allotted to him in consideration. The structure of the broadcast news is structured to attract the attention of the listeners. The beginning of the story must grab the attention rather than the focusing on the facts and figures, whereas the print news concentrates on facts and figures to be reported, especially in the first paragraph of the story. So, we are going to summarize this module, and conclusions are: radio is a medium for ears. The style of reading the news holds prominence. The style of presentation by the news readers can make or break the story. The radio news has the element of immediacy, capable of forging pictures in the minds of the listeners. It is a personal medium, as the presenter seems to be talking to an individual rather than the masses. With radio reach the highest amongst other mass communication mediums, it makes a local and a cost-effective medium. Print media is the oldest medium serving the nation with its revolutionary writings. All the print media agencies have a specified style of writing the stories, and the staff has to be abided. The print media news and radio news differs on the writing style, timeline, its reach and medium's nature. Thus, radio news and print news has its own relevance according to its medium. Though the converging news environment and technological innovations in the 21st century are blurring the distinctiveness of each medium, but some scholars and practitioners believe that each medium still holds its own significance and the basic nature of the mediums persist. The online news is considered to be a fourth kind of journalism that changed the basic nature of journalism but not the soul of mass communication mediums. So dear learners, I hope you enjoyed this module. Thank you.